Hey you, it's Reese, and we are back with another word. This word is being brought to you by Jeremiah 37, or that's the verse that the Father gave me in reference to what I heard in my quiet time with Him. I believe this is a couple days ago. And so what I heard in my quiet time with Him was that Great Depression was something else. And it was myself. I heard myself saying it, and I said it kind of like that Great Depression was no joke, but this is far worse. So if you guys have been following not any prophetic word, but a lot of prophets, prophetess that I have heard have been speaking on this shaking that the Father is going to be doing. They might title their videos as the shaking or warning or something of that matter, but I titled some of mine as, God shaking things up. And I've done several videos, several warnings in regards to this. And so when I heard myself say this in my silent time with the Father, I was like, why did I just hear myself say that? Like, what? And then today I read Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. And because I asked the Father, if you want me to speak on this, let me know. Give me confirmation you want me to speak on this. And so I read this. What so happened was titled The Great Tribulation. So in this chapter, or in this, in this chapter, in this verse that they're speaking of, they're talking about the Great Tribulation, but I heard the Great Depression. So what the Father is saying is this shaking that He's going to be doing is going to be worse than the Great Depression. It's going to be far worse than what it was during the Great Depression times. And He gave me Jeremiah 37 to confirm what He is saying, and for me to send this word out. And it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So this is just a warning as to how bad it's going to be when God starts shaking things up. It is going to be worse than the Great Depression, but for His remnant, for those of us that He has covered, for those of us that are under Psalms 91 protection, saying Psalms 23, for those of us that have been walking faithfully, 10 toes down in obedience to the Father, doing whatever His beautiful heart desires us to do. For the remnant, we are covered, as it says. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So this great shaking will not touch His remnant, but it is going to be far worse than it was in the Great Depression. That is all I got for you on this word. If you're concerned about where you stand with the Father, if you're concerned about if you were going to be touched or not touched in this great shaking the Father's going to be doing, take this word back to the Father. Make sure it's a word from Him. Make sure it's a word for you. Make sure it's a word for you in the season that you're in. Take this word to the Father. Ask Him to search your heart. Ask Him to put it on your heart, those that He might want you to reach out to, so that they can make it right with the Father before this happens. Okay? All right, that's all I got for you guys on this word. Remember, until next time, God loved you then, no matter what you did back then. He loves you now, no matter what you're doing now. Hence all the warnings. And He loves you in the future, no matter what you may do in the future. God loves you and He calls you righteous. So stay righteous. And if you're not righteous, get righteous. Okay? All right, and I'm out. Bye.